Hey there, in this video we're going to be talking about how to back up your Heroku database and import it into your Hatchbox server. Now this process will apply to other hosting providers if you're migrating from them, so don't think this just applies to Heroku, but it is going to be the one that we use in this example. So let's dig in. So first things first, you want to set up a server and a cluster inside of Hatchbox. So here I have a cluster with one server in it, and this server has the Postgres server installed on it, and that's going to give us a database section up here where we can see in that database cluster for Postgres all of our databases, and we can generate a new database, and we'll use this one for restoring our Heroku database. The other thing we want to do is go into SSH keys and make sure that we have our SSH key added to Hatchbox. That's going to allow us to SSH into the server and actually talk to Postgres from our local machine here. The other thing we want to do is go into our Heroku database, and we want to create a manual backup and download it. I've just done that here. And you can also go under settings and view credentials and go back up the database directly if you would like. If you do it this way, you can create a Table Plus connection. We recommend using Table Plus because it has a great backup and restore feature. You would create a new connection for Postgres, and you would paste in the host, the username, the database password, and database name into here and click test, and it would try to connect to your Heroku database. Then you can hit the backup button and choose your server and download your database from there. So what we're going to do is skip that step because we've already downloaded a dump, and we're going to fill out the information for our Hatchbox database. So we're going to grab the database name, paste it in here. The username will go under username. Password will go under password. Host is going to be 127001. And instead of Heroku using the direct host, we're going to use SSH. So we're going to use our local SSH key here. We're going to grab the SSH host, and we're going to use deploy as the username without a password because we're going to authenticate to the server using our SSH key. So you can click test, it will connect to SSH, it will take a second, and then it will try to connect to Postgres. And if all of this is green, you can save this and give it a name like Hatchbox example. We'll click save, and we can then restore to our Hatchbox example, and we'll click on the matching database name, fe52f, click start restore, and we'll grab that file that we just downloaded from Heroku. But it needs a file extension of .dump, so we're going to need to edit that file name real quick. We'll cancel this, start restore again, and choose that file now. And it will go through restoring the database to your Hatchbox instance. Now, sometimes you're going to get some information like this saying that the table owner doesn't exist. In those cases, you can add no owner on to your restore as an option, and that will skip those and skip the owner stuff and restore your database. And then we can go and click on our example here, and we'll see that we have all of our data that we have imported. So that worked perfect. Now, not every time you'll have a perfect import. So if you back up the database, you might have other things like the users, the owners in your dump, and Postgres will try to restore all of that, and you don't necessarily want that. So you might have to play with the settings and tweak it a little bit so you don't get the owner dumped out into it, and maybe some other extensions or something like that are missing that you might need to adjust as well. So that is the general process for backing up and restoring. We highly recommend using Table Plus. It's a wonderful tool. It makes that really easy and will make your life a lot easier than trying to do a PG dump and PG import yourself on the command line.